Now just to check that my audio is working, I'll wait for a comment actually. Who out there actually owns Stick Control? The famous book Stick Control. I think it was voted for in the Modern Drummer poll as the greatest drum resource of all time. And it's a book that every drummer should own. Let me know in the comments if anyone does have it. A little bit wonky. How's that? That's pretty good. All right, I'll just wait for a comment and then we'll get into it. I don't have a permanent set for these live videos, obviously, so it is always a little bit of adjustment as we get going. If you're not familiar with Stick Control, if you're watching this video and you don't have the book, I'll try and guide you through it as best I can. We're just going to look at page 1. Page 1 is, on the surface, very, very straightforward. It's a series of rights and lefts. That's all it is. Number 1 on page 1 is a single stroke roll starting on your right. Right, left, on and on. Number 2 is a single stroke roll starting on your left. Left, right. If we just start, let's just start just with that. Simply with the single stroke roll, number 1 on page 1 of your Stick Control book. Now, there's a lot of different ways we can interpret this. So the first thing you're going to do when you get the book is you're going to go, well, you're going to turn your metronome on. Let's put it down to 60. So you're going to look at page 1, number 1, right, left, and you're going to go, okay, yeah, I can do that. Obviously, you could turn your metronome up, you could go faster, you could have the clicks on the offbeat, which is what we did in the previous lesson. Lots of things you could do. You could also interpret it as triplets. So you could do a bar of each. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And bounce back and forth again, which is similar to what we did the other day. But then you can start getting into the actual real utilization of Stick Control, and why it is such a famous book is because you can start plugging in any idea. A right could represent something else. Maybe if you're on a drum kit, a right could represent a bass drum, or left could represent your hi-hat with your foot. Lots of different permutations that we could have. Now, today's one that I'm going to share with you, I stole from Mike Johnston from Mike'sLessons.com. I had Mike on my podcast 2020, I would guess. It would be around episode 22, I think, from memory. And yeah, he has shared a really great interpretation for Stick Control, which I'm going to share with you now. So full disclosure, I have stolen this completely from Mike Johnston. Maybe he stole it from someone else. I don't know. These things are pretty liquid in terms of drumming. It's hard to trace back to the original source. Okay. So the way Mike Johnston mentioned, if you want to develop chops with Stick Control, you can interpret Stick Control like this. Every R or every right equals right accent, 2 left taps. So 1 R is this. Now when you get a left, you want to do 2 taps with your right, left accent. So R equals, left equals, Is that making sense? Let me know in the chat or in the comments if that makes sense so far. That's it. That's the formula. R equals this, right, left, left. Left equals right, right, left. So on the right, you get a right accent. On each L, on each left, you get a left accent. Right, left. Now that would be number one, because number one goes right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So we'd be going right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Now, just to start nice and gently, we could play these as eighth note triplets with a click. So we could go 3, 4, right, left, right, left, right. I am shocked. No comments so far. Hopefully you guys are actually doing this along with me. Let me know if I've explained this well enough to be able to follow along with, even if you don't have the book. Let's keep it going a little bit more. Da, 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 da. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Now eventually we're going to want to probably realistically be playing these in 16th note triplets. Those are 8th note triplets, 3 hits per click, but we want to eventually pick this up to a usable tempo. And for me, that's going to be 16th note triplets. That's going to be a bit more realistic for how we would actually use these in a song. Because I've yet to do a fill that goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's obviously going to be quite slow, isn't it? So if we double this, if we play it in 16th note triplets, we're going to get this. So this is number 1, right, left, right, left. I'm a big fan, as you know, of putting the click on the offbeats, so the click could represent the and. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's probably my preferred way to play it, with the click on the end. Now, number 2 on your first page of stick control is the same thing, but it starts on a left. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Single stroke roll starting on the left. So now our interpretation is going to be right, right, left, right, left, left. Remember, right equals right accent, 2 lefts. Left equals two rights, and then a left. So it's starting on a left. Let's try it in 8th notes with a click. Da, 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 da. Right, left, right. Let's double it into 16th note triplets. And so on and so on. Let's go to number 3. Number 3 is a double stroke roll starting on your right. It should sound like this in 8th note triplets. Let me know if you're hanging with me. Should sound like this in 16th note triplets. Let's go to number 4. Now number 4 is a double stroke roll, but it starts on the left. and 16th note triplets, double the speed. After that, we get into paradiddles and paradiddle inversion. So number 5 is a single paradiddle, no accents. 6, paradiddle inversion. 7, paradiddle inversion. 8, paradiddle inversion. I know you guys have got your practice pad and your stick control book in front of you, haven't you? Just checking. Just checking. So remember, number 5, single paradiddle. It's going to sound like this in 8th notes. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Hey, look at that. Now if we double that, 16th note triplets. I'm not going to do the 8th note triplet variation example for 6, 7, and 8. I'm just going to play them in 16th note triplets. Number 6 is a paradiddle inversion. Right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left. It's going to sound like this. Seven, another paradiddle inversion. Right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. 8 is the final paradiddle inversion. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. Here we go. All right. Who is still with me? Who is completely confused? No idea what I'm talking about? That's okay. I'm not hearing anything, so I'm assuming everybody's got this just perfectly so far, and I've explained this absolutely perfect. Let's turn up the heat a little bit. It's pretty warm in here also, by the way. Let's crank this up to 70 BPM now. So we were at 60. Let's take it up to 70. I'm going to play through those first 8 numbers on stick control without stopping, and click on the downbeat. I'll give us a 4-bar count in. So if you are following along with your book, yeah, let me know. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. So we're still at a really slow BPM marking here, so we're gonna keep picking this up. Okay, we do have a few questions. Luke Cleland, no idea what the hell is going on. I'm just here for the show. Well, Luke, I'm glad to hear that. I like your honesty. So if there's one pretty constant critique, it's the people who say, "Hey man, you're a drum teacher. Where's the drum lessons?" So that's what I'm giving you now. Giving you some drum lessons to supplement all my shenanigans. Adam Hemphill, join late. Where can I find the book you're using? Down at your local music instrument store. It is the most famous drum book in the world, so they should have it. Otherwise, obviously, go for Amazon. Stick Control by George Lawrence Stone. This particular interpretation, you're not going to find this in stick control. This is an interpretation of stick control. Now, this is a big misconception and myth with this type of stuff, that you just play the book as it's written. No, you don't. You play the book to make it suit whatever you need from the book. And in my case, I'm using it for chops. You know, your classic Buddy Rich style doubled accented chops, and it's great for that. I'm going to keep going, and I'll try and answer more questions as they pop up. Let's turn up the heat. Let's go to 80 BPM. So remember, we're playing 16th note triplets here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 'Let's do offbeat click for that tempo as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 'Let me know in the comments, in the paradiddle fun Sean Hartel. Yes, paradiddles are fun. Spoken like a true geek drummer teacher. Let me know in the chat. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I've joined late. What the hell are you... What is this? This is not stick control. Stick control is this. 2. 3. You know, like, it's... There's so much more we could be getting out of stick control. And if you are joining late, I've completely stolen this exercise off Mike Johnston. Had Mike Johnston on my podcast, the NZ Drummer podcast, a few years back, and stole this exercise off him, and I've been using it ever since, and I really dig it. If there's no more questions, let's keep turning the heat up until my hands fall off. Now, this is not to show off or try and intimidate you with how difficult this exercise is. This is purely just to show you where it can go. And if you can imagine this on a snare, obviously it's going to sound a bit more shreddy on a snare, you know, with the actual buzz of the snare and stuff. So these just sound great. You can put the accents on the toms or as rim shots on the snare. It's going to sound really cool. Let's crank it up to 90. Dangerous territory here. Mike Lever, no drummer but watching drum lesson. Andrew, that is how good your channel is. Love your content. Thank you so much. That's very kind. Just for you, I'm going to give you some pad shred. So this is 1 through 8 at 90 BPM. Click on the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2. Feels like the same tempo. 3. 4. 5. 6, 7, 8. Ah, 8. Clearly need to work on speaking while I'm playing. Brian Yates. I'm late. What the hell are you doing? Lol. So Brian, we are working out of stick control as per, I think I put this in the title of the video. Oh yeah, day 3, building chops with stick control. And when I refer to stick control, I'm not talking about the concept of using stick control. I'm talking about the book, the resource called Stick Control. It would be the most famous drum book, I think, without question, of all time. The other one will be Syncopation. But yeah, it's a great book. Brian, we're looking at the first page. I'm not sure if you own this book, but we're looking at the first page. It's just a collection of rights and lefts, and you could read through the book literally, or you can interpret the book with something like this, which I stole off Mike Johnston. His interpretation, his idea, way to use this book is each right is a right accent, 2 lefts. So for each right, you're getting, each right in the book represents 3 notes in triplets. Every left is 2 rights, left accent. So now if we go right, left, we're going to be doing this. Right, left, right, left. I can expand more on this in future videos. I'm really racing through this. This takes a little while to get your head around, but when you do, it's really cool. It really is cool. Let's crank up, let's turn up the heat. Ooh, 100? Or should we do 90 on the offbeats? Let's crank it up to 100. See how we go. No guarantees. Woo, pressure's on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, we got through it. I've got no idea where my ceiling is for this stuff. I don't really practice with speed in mind, ever. For me, it's all literally about control. And I'm not trying to be modest or humble. It's just, I'm just being honest. It's always about control for me. Speed is just something that comes with time, mileage on a pad. You will get speed eventually from the control and from the muscle memory. So I'm never really concerned with that. The other thing to probably be aware of is if you're watching this and you're new to the exercise and perhaps you don't have solid doubles, because obviously you need solid doubles to do this stuff, is this could take a long time. You might hang out back at 60 BPM on the 8th note triplet. You might be there. That's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So you might be doing this. For number 1. And really ironing out and you might just really iron out and clean up those triplet accented doubles at that speed. And that's a great thing to do. That's what I did. I just went right back and made sure it was good at the source. If you can't play something slowly, you can't play it fast. There's no way. You might think you can play it fast, but you can't. You're fooling yourself. All right, we've got a few comments popping in. That's good. But yeah, let me know if this makes sense. This is the best way I know to develop this kind of Buddy Rich accented double single combo chops, and it's just so easy to move this around the kit, and it instantly sounds like a drum solo. So it's really good stuff. Where did we end up? I think we ended up at bang on 100. I'm gonna have a play through this at 100. Click on the offbeat, and again, this is not to try and show off and tell you how fast or clever I am. It's just to show you some possibilities and you know, where you can take this and how you can challenge yourself with offbeat clicks as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 'So I really am these days, and again, not a humble brag, it's just being honest, I'm as confident and comfortable with an offbeat click now as with a downbeat click. And that was a major game changer in my drumming and my feel, how I could actually feel music and how I can sound while I'm playing. A lot more confidence on where the beats are and where they line up, and playing nice and evenly through a tempo instead of aiming for those clicks like their target practice, which is what always happens when we just have the click on the downbeat all the time. It's always going to sound bad. And if you take away the click, if there's someone who's always practicing to a click on the downbeat, take away that click and get them to play, they can't play because they're just so used to being hammered in the head for 4 minutes every song with this click that just pounds them in the head. You take it away, oh, I've got no internal clock anymore. So yeah, offbeat click, offbeat click, highly recommend it. I don't know. This is actually interesting. I don't know where my speed cap is for this type of exercise. I'll increase it to 105. I won't do a big jump because I might fall apart here. Let's give it a go. Back to the downbeats. Brian Yates, Mike Lever, go have a listen to Mario Duplantier from Gojira. Yeah, I've done a few on Mario and I've got a few coming up on Mario. So, great drummer. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, paradiddle. 6, 7, 8, 'll try 110 without talking, because I can't talk and play. 3, 4. Eight. I feel like, again, total honesty. What you'll get on my channel, if you don't get anything else, you will get total honesty. I think I just found my limit for this exercise. that was sounding, that was starting to get a little bit, I don't know, I wasn't liking my intonation between the accents and the doubles, and I'm probably starting to lose the accents a little bit at that speed. So 110 might be my cap for where I'm doing this exercise at the moment. And realistically, if you heard this on a snare drum and how shreddy it is, you might not need to play it much faster than that anyway. Sean Hartel, do you play diamond, molar, or French grip? I don't know. Again, total transparency and honesty. I don't know, and this is not an attack on you, Sean. For me, I don't care. Just for me. I'm not saying you shouldn't care or it's a dumb question. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for me, I don't care. I just play. I leave all the labels for grips and stuff to other people. You know, I've had people come up to me in gigs and stuff and look at my feet and, hey man, nice slide technique. And I didn't even know that I was doing slide technique. So all of that stuff, I don't focus on it, and I don't actually think about it too much. So yeah, hopefully that's not too much of a downer answer. I'm just being really honest. I'm just trying to answer your question honestly and not BS you. What else have we got here? Can you explain how to do the offbeat again? Paul Castillo? Sure. Let's slow it down though, because at that speed it's getting really hard to feel the downbeats. Let's go back to 60 BPM. It doesn't need to be this exercise, it could be any exercise. Let's make it as simple as we can. 60 BPM singles, 16th notes. This is on the downbeat because I'm starting with a click. 2, 3, 4. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2. The click represents the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now, without changing the click's still doing the same thing. I'm going to flip it in my mind. So now it represents it no longer represents the 1, 2, 3, 4. It represents the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 2, 3, 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Did I explain that? Okay. Let me know. Dana Ron, can you say anything with the number 6 again? Not the number 6. Come on. Come on. I'm not going to say the number 6 again. Calm down. Brian Yates. He's got a lot of toys. Are you guys still talking about Mario Duplantier? Yeah? Come on. This is a drum lesson. Mike Lever. Andrew, your drum lesson really gives weight to your words on the other videos. Yeah, I hope so. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really hope to bring a range of things. This is not going to be for everybody. It's not overly entertaining. I haven't got my memes. I can't access my memes when I do this. And without my memes, what am I? I mean, it's like, you know, the tree falling in the woods. You know, if Andrew Rooney does a drum video and it doesn't have memes in it, did it really happen? So, yeah, this is just straight up my attempt at giving you some information, some education. So yeah, that's the plan with this stuff. Greetings from Australia. Oh no, I know all about you Australians and your accent as well. Don't worry about that. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to leave it there. relatively short, just a half hour, 40 odd minutes of just telling you guys about a really cool exercise that I stole off Mike Johnston. You know, Mike's a great drummer. If he was big on it, there was a reason for it. And, you know, I'm a full-time drum teacher and player. I grabbed it, I really dug it, and I'm sharing it again. So there must be something to this. It's a little bit hard, I know, to get into it, to understand how we're interpreting things, but once you get it, it's really going to be quite good. So remember, we're using Stick Control, the famous drum book by George Lawrence Stone. All you need to remember is R, or right, in the book represents right accent, left, left. Every left or L in the book represents right, right, left accent. So if you're reading right, left, it's going to be like this. Right, left, right, left, right, left. And then the next step would be obviously speeding them up, making them a bit more fluent, using that double practice that we did the other day, and then eventually linking them up so you can actually link together ideas with singles and doubles. And then you can get that nice Buddy Rich, that nice sort of double accented double shred. Yeah, so I really recommend it. A few final questions. That's comedy gold, really? I don't know about that. What is your motivation to play the drums? Paul Castillo. That's a great question, man. My motivation for playing the drums has completely changed. In the last, how old am I again? In the last 5 years, maybe slightly more, completely changed. When I started, when I went to jazz school, it was all about being, you know, the best drummer in the world and going to be doing this and that. I'm going to be playing at Blue Note in New York and blah, 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 blah. And then I started ticking off certain gigs and doing things, and I remember my teacher at uni actually said, you know, all the things that you want to do, that mountain that you see at the moment that you're trying to climb, you're going to do it. You're going to do it all. And then when you get there, you're going to find there's nothing there. There's actually nothing there. It's just by that point, just there's a logical evolution in your playing and your personality and yourself. And it doesn't feel like a big deal anymore. And he was completely right. So there was a point where everything switched for me to a student. And I don't say that again. That probably sounds real phony. It's not. I actually consider myself a much better teacher than a player these days. I used to be the other way around. I was not probably a very good teacher. But I guess from the other things, from having a lot of experience, from playing thousands and thousands of gigs and doing a lot of teaching, seeing what clearly works with people, seeing what does not work with people, I just got better and better at teaching, and I got really into it. So this is a long-winded answer to a question, so hopefully this is okay. I had a bunch of gigs over the Christmas break, and some of them paid amazing, some of them were really fun, had played with really great musicians, and that was okay. But then I come back to teaching, and I had this young girl tell me, I've come back to school and I'm in like literally five or six bands now. And that made me happier than doing my gigs and, you know, getting paid well and doing these exciting gigs and stuff. I was more excited by this girl. She is literally living her dream now. She's at school. She is the drummer. She's killing it. Jazz band, rock bands, blues band, everything. She's right in, she doesn't know it, but she is right in the middle of exactly what she wanted. Because when you're in the middle of it, it's hard work, right? It doesn't feel like you've reached that point. But that made me happier. Then I had another guy, another student pop in, and he had recorded an EP with his young band, and he had been in a band competition, playing gigs, and he is just ear to ear grinning, and then you'll hear stuff from these students like, man, what you said, I remember you said something, blah 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 back in the day, and I didn't believe you, and then now that I'm gigging I realize you were right. That kind of stuff makes me so happy. Not to be right, but that the student has had that epiphany, has realized why I might have drilled in on a certain point where it doesn't make sense until you're in the situation. Then you're like, this is why he wanted me to do this. And then I've got another student who is just who's a legit beast. He's as good as I am on the drums, at least. And he's going to be going to music school, and he is a session drummer. He's playing for, 7 pop acts. Click, setting off samples and all kinds of stuff. So very, very exciting. Great answer. Thank you, Paul. Must be very rewarding to teach. It is. I consider myself more a teacher than a player now. I didn't expect the lesson to go in this direction, actually, but it's quite cool. Wow, are you teaching? Dana again from Australia, in Aussie. Shrimp on the Barbie. Are you teaching all ages or mainly high schoolers, adults too? ? I don't teach Australians though. That's the problem. Everybody. A lot of my students do tend to be school age, either primary or intermediate or high school. But I do have a few adult students. Yeah, it's in that sense, it's just a numbers game. It's just how many people are approaching drum teachers for lessons, and most of them will be school age students. So yeah, no, but whoever comes to me in good faith, wanting to learn. The only time it's hard, and the only time it's a bummer being a teacher, is when you get someone who's unteachable. And that's unfortunate. Had a few of those. Sometimes you get someone who's unteachable, and you might have to walk away and just say, hey, I might not be the right teacher for you. I'm not here to take your money. I'm here to teach you the drums. So if you're not into it, if you can't if you can't give yourself over to the lessons, then what are you doing? Go back and watch Netflix, because drumming's not going to happen for you. You only know something really good when you can teach it to others. Yeah, there's a myth that goes around those who can't teach. And I've seen this come up within the drumming world. It's the opposite. Every single famous drummer you can think of teaches. Now, you only have to look at Drumeo for this. So those who can't teach, right? So you're saying Larnell Lewis can't play? Benny Greb can't play. Chris Coleman can't play. Aaron Spears can't play, because they all teach on Drumeo. So who's a drummer that doesn't teach? You'd have to get into rock stars, I guess. I don't know if Dave Grohl teaches. He teaches through his music, but he doesn't specifically do lessons, I suppose. Phil Rudd? I don't know. The drummer from Def Leppard? I don't know. That's just the most stupid, ignorant, and myth of a statement ever. Those who can't do teach. Really? Ugh. Yikes, don't get me started on myths. I'm going to do a whole myth, multi-episode thing about drum myths. Drumming is full of myths. Music is full of myths. What else we got here? Brian Yates. Are there really people that just don't have what it takes to play? No. No, there's not. And again, I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here or give you a short answer. No, that's another myth. Talent is the golden myth in life. Not just drums, in life. Talent isn't even a part of this. Because your question there is sort of going down that talent route, and forget talent. Talent is rubbish. And even if someone is talented, I don't know what that even means, but even if someone was naturally inclined to be good at something, so that doesn't change anything. When I had Dylan Elise on the podcast, he's the drummer. He's a Kiwi guy who went real viral because he's so amazing, and he became the drummer for Blood, Sweat and Tears over in the States. He was a freak of a drummer. He would do clinic tours around New Zealand when he was in high school. Now, when I had Dylan on the podcast, I asked him, man, you obviously got insane facility. You can play ridiculously fast and complicated. How much did you practice per day as a child? And you know what Dylan's answer was? This is how much Dylan practiced when he was at school. He said to me, I practiced 12 hours a day at school. Now let that sink in. And while you're letting that sink in, remember this is our most talented drummer. Really? Talented drummer? 12 hours a day practice, but he's talented. Give me a break. It's just not even a thing. What else we got here? I went pretty dark on you there, Brian. Sorry about that. But no, anyone can play the drums. Absolutely anybody. Paul Castillo, can you review any of my drum covers and let me know what I can improve on? That's interesting. That could be a nice little segment for the channel. I quite like that. Mike Lever, I agree so much on that. I don't know what you're agreeing on, but you're probably just agreeing with everything I'm saying, because what I'm saying is the truth. It's the truth as I know it anyway. Practice is everything, 100%. Hard work, perseverance is the key to getting better or learning anything. Absolutely. Look, did anybody watch the Michael Jordan documentary on Netflix? If not, I recommend anybody to watch it. Now, obviously, the NBA is a collection of, for want of a better term, physical freaks. Obviously very tall, great vertical jump, all that kind of stuff that they do work on as well. There's a lot of tall people who aren't good at basketball. Now, if you asked anybody in the Michael Jordan era, ask anybody in the NBA or the Bulls coaching staff, who is the most obsessed player in the team? I mean, you don't need to ask that question. Everybody knows. Who is the most obsessed? Who has the strongest desire to win? Again, pointless question. We know who it is. Who is the hardest working? Who trains the hardest? Again, we don't even need to ask these questions. Now, is this a coincidence? Isn't that funny? Michael Jordan, he was the most talented, but he was also the most hardworking and the most obsessed and had the biggest drive to win. No, those are the key factors. You know, they just override everything. I got some really cool stuff coming in. Oh, it's all flowing in now. McLean Racing UK. Only just had a chance to get back to drumming 16 years later. What advice would you give to someone who has lost their technique? Technique, really? Well, you could go back to my previous singles and doubles lesson number 1, where I just went through some really, really simple singles and doubles stuff. I feel like the pad is ground zero for developing your drumming. We don't all have a drum kit. We don't all have access to a drum kit or playing in a band or doing this or doing that. But everybody can access a practice pad. You could practice at 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess it's not really going to affect anybody else. There is no excuse to not put in your pad practice. So to answer your question, I would base it off the pad and I would start there. And then you're going to start developing habits of practice where you might be able to branch off and go, okay, I'm practicing all the time now. I'm back into it. I'm going to jump back on my kit, or I'm going to buy an electronic kit so I can practice in my apartment, or whatever your situation is. Pad is ground zero. There is no excuse. I practice on the pad every day. So the other night, I had a crazy day. I was teaching all day. It was Saturday. Teaching all day. Had a gig the night before, so I didn't get the practice in on the morning. Woke up blurry-eyed, off to teaching all day. Then I had a gig out of town. So I'm just on the go all the time, like all day, 24/7. Then I got back from the gig, I think at 2 a.m. in the morning. I sat down and I did my pad work. I'm not kidding. This is my meditation time. This is non-negotiable. If you want to get good at something, if you want to get really good at the drums, this is non-negotiable. You don't, a bit tired. I might just eat potato chips and watch Netflix. No. It's, you have to do it. You have to do it. It's like your veggies. You just got to constantly eat them, and over time, you'll reap the benefits. Man, it is stinking hot in here. I'm going to have to close this down so I can get some fresh air. Yeah, I think still got the beats. The fills are appalling. Yeah, I like what Paul Castillo said. Yeah, you know, practice your fills with a metronome and eventually practice with an offbeat click, and nothing tidies up your drumming or gives you the fright of your life quite like playing to an offbeat click. Mike Lever, maybe a stupid question. Do you know any drummers not using the snare drum as their center or main drum? If you're saying, do you know of any drummers that don't have a snare drum? No. I don't know if you've seen Chris Daddy Dave, famous hip-hop drummer. Last time I saw his kit, he was using no toms and just all snares. So you know how you got toms all placed around your kit? All of those are snares for him, so he can access different sounds. It's really cool. Brooke, hello Brooke. I practice 90% on the kit. Yeah. I mean, it's always nice to get on the kit. There's no replacement for the kit. The pad is not the kit. And the kit is not the pad. They're different things, really. But I always look at this as, there's no excuse for this. I can convince myself that, you know, I didn't get the chance to jump on the kit today or whatever. Fine. I can't convince myself that there wasn't time for this. There's always time for the pad. And with that, I am going to leave you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you thought of this lesson. Did I pitch it too difficult? Too easy? Is it just right? Just let me know. And we can go from there. I'm also thinking about a possible daily drummer type thing where I go through and just do like a really short, simple daily thing, and we start ramping it up gradually. Start really, really easy, and just over time we just start speeding things up and making it a bit more difficult. Let me know if you'd be curious or interested in something like that, and we can see if we can make that happen. guys, I'm going to go grab myself another coffee. It is 10:30. I've got to get my day started, get to teaching, and yeah, get things done. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Love all the questions, and hit me in the comments section, not just the chat, but the comments, if you've got anything else that you want me to address. All right, take care, guys.